Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and here in this session for vocabulary I am back with another session for you to discuss some words, whether you're preparing for banking, SSC, civil services or defense examinations. We are here to help you with your vocabulary section. Let's begin with today's article, and the article for today heads as transparency is vital on authorization of coronavirus vaccines. So when we see there are n number of vaccines that are coming up in our country itself, that is India, and if you see that Pfizer and other two vaccines which are based on the RNA technique or technology, they are in use now. There was first injection that was done yesterday. But there is some sort of transparency needed. Why it is important? Because you never know what is the side effect, because the vaccine has come up so early, and there are things that people are dubious about the vaccines that have come up. So transparency, that is pardarshita. Okay, that is clarity. Okay, transparency is noun, clarity is important, it is vital, it is important, it is necessary. Vital is an adjective. Necessary कहते हैं ना, अनिवार्य. So बहुत ज़रूरी है transparency. Safety and efficacy. Efficacy is noun, which means the ability of showing desired results. Now, when we're saying efficacy of showing desired results, मतलब उनकी जो क्षमता है, ठीक है, किस हद तक वो impact effective हैं, I would say effective हैं vaccines जो हम use करें. So the safety and efficacy data must be known before emergency use authorizations for vaccines. So if you are using for emergency cases these vaccines, but still we understand that the situation is such that we have come up with emergency vaccines, or vaccines are coming instantly, okay, but we have to be cautious of two measures. That one is safety, the other is efficacy. How safe these vaccines are and how effective these vaccines are, that is important to understand. A day after Pfizer sought the Indian regulators nod for emergency use. Nod is used here as a noun, though it's a verb as well, which is the gesture, like when you nod like this or like this, okay, using your head, the gesture through your head, okay, that is nod. Like you give a yes, you give a no, that is a nodding. When it got a nod, that it got a yes, that okay, you can do it. Authorization for its mRNA vaccine, the Pune-based Serum Institute of India has approached the regulator for a similar nod for its vaccine. So Indian regulator का जो नोट था that Pfizer got, now there is a Pune-based Serum Institute that is looking forward to the nod that was given to Pfizer. If it is given to this Pune-based institute as well, then there would be another vaccine. Now, Covishield, developed by Oxford University. Unlike Pfizer, AstraZeneca, which is carrying out the phase 3 trials of the Oxford vaccine in 4 countries, is yet to secure a nod from any of the regulatory agencies. So, unlike Pfizer, which has got a nod, okay, which has got the approval, Covishield, or you can say, AstraZeneca, it is still fighting for, or it is still looking forward to a nod from any of the regulatory agencies. AstraZeneca recently gave details of the interim safety. Interim is an adjective which means the mean time. Okay, अंतरिम जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं. Sorry, I'm going to write it here. Antarim. Like for that particular time being, what cause of safety measures and efficacy data involving 131 COVID cases in the phase 3 trials in the UK and Brazil. So it has given the data 131 COVID cases that was in UK and Brazil, and this is the data for for its effectiveness that it has shared. Okay, and how safe it is. AstraZeneca has given the proof as well, but still it has not got a nod. So it is looking forward to and is trying hard. But details of the trials in India are not out yet. It has not been revealed, or it has not been projected yet, that the entire process of the trial, okay, how it has been injected, what is the impact, and how many days does it takes to create that effect. Nothing is out yet. The unprecedented speed. Unprecedented is an adjective which means unknown, something that is not seen or experienced before, something that's unusual, like COVID. It's unusual, it's unprecedented, right? This word we have done a number of times now, because unprecedented word came up the moment COVID articles came up. We had discussed this article numerous times by now. So the unprecedented period in taking the vaccine from the development stage to approval process is less than a year is remarkable. Remarkable is an adjective, I must tell you guys, which means it is great. Okay, like extremely, here it means it's extremely effective and perhaps necessitated by the toll the virus has taken on lives and livelihoods. So the toll that the virus has taken, this sentence or this phrase gives us that the impact, and definitely the negative impact we're talking about, the negative impact or the effect that this virus has created on the economy, lives of people, and everything. But this is not without cause for concern at a time when governments are putting pressure on regulatory bodies to fast track the entire process. Now, government of not just one nation, but of I would say the nations all across the globe, each one wants the vaccine to be out like as soon as possible, because everyone is seeing the loss that the country and the people are facing, and that's as a great scale, I would say. So the governments, what are they doing? They are constantly pressurizing the regulatory bodies to come up with the fast track processes and approve the vaccines. But if you see the second side, or if you see the other side of this particular situation, then things, if they are on fast track mode, or if vaccines are coming up with a fast track process, definitely there will be chances of there might be some cliches that would be there, okay, that could be there, I must say. So there would be chances of getting the negative effect, okay, or the I would say the other effects or impact that would outright or that would completely downsize the positive impact that we are looking forward to. Also, the lack of transparency about the vaccine safety and the efficacy that we are facing, that does no good and in reality, or in gaining the confidence that the people or the general public would have, and the willingness that they could wish to get vaccinated. Because if I get to know that someone got vaccinated and that has not impacted much and the effect was not satisfactory, if this comes to me, then definitely I won't be willing to get vaccinated. The willingness, the confidence that a person would have in the vaccine would not be there. So the transparency, the lack of transparency that's there about the safety and the effectiveness that we're talking about, definitely brings or puts the government and the regulatory bodies in a question mark. I would say they're besieged by these question marks. While Moderna, Pfizer and AstraZeneca took the extraordinary step of publicly sharing the trial protocol, the time points at which interim analysis of phase 3 trial in India will be carried out for safety and efficacy is unclear. Now, it's unclear, like the situation is not clear yet. You never know the trials that we are having at the moment, that is interim trials. so they will be carried out in India or not, that's not clear. It further says, while the USFDA had clearly spelt out at least 50% efficacy. And stipulated, it's a verb which means to state or to specify. किसी चीज को बहुत कथित रूप से उस चीज को emphasize करके state करना. It has stipulated a median follow-up duration of at least 2 months after completion of the full vaccination regimen to assess a vaccine's benefit risk profile for emergency use approval. No such conditions have been mentioned by the Indian regulatory agency. Now this is again a point to take into consideration, wherein USFDA has given up, or there's a clause that there should be 2 months follow-up to measure or to come up with the profile of the benefit and risk profile of any vaccine. Indian regulatory bodies have not given any such clause. They are fine with, like, there's no follow-up duration like projected. The phase 3 trial of the Covishield began on September 21 and completed the enrollment on November 12. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a few days ago that a vaccine would be available in the next few weeks, bringing some cheer in an otherwise desolate scenario. Desolate, that is an adjective used here which means lonely or lifeless. Okay. Which you can say it's like something that is not cheerful. Okay. In Hindi you can say something that is kela or mrityu scenario. Okay, death scenario. The sooner a vaccine is available, the better it is for everyone. But pushing through an ineffective or unsafe vaccine is worse than not having one. So, number one, the point that is, I would say not number one, but the most important point that the writer has given us is important to consider. And I would say that, yes, it is really important to consider. Why? The reason is, it is said that having half the information or knowing something halfway is worse than not having the information. Okay. Similarly here, if the vaccine is not effective or an ineffective vaccine would be worse than not having one with us. That's obvious. So if it's ineffective, if it comes with other side effects, then there will be other problems that we would be facing. Okay. And there will be add-on to the miseries. That it would be like more like adding insult to the injury that we are already facing. So instead of doing that, and कहते हैं ना आग में घी डालना या फिर उस चीज को और बढ़ाने से better है that we try to control it. So this is what the writer has said, that but pushing through an ineffective or unsafe vaccine is worse than not having one. Further, it has also been stated that a survey by the London-based Vaccine Confidence Project revealed, now reveal is a verb used here which means it showed or it highlighted or it reflected or it told. कहते हैं ना किसी चीज को सामने ले आना तो प्रकट करना. So what does it reveal? It reveals that though the intent is noun which means intention. Hindi में हम कहते हैं इरादा. Alright. To get vaccinated was 87% in India. 34% respondents. Respondent is a noun which means people or person who came up first or answered to a question. तो इनको जब सवाल पूछा गया कि भाई आप वैक्सीनेशन कराना चाहेंगे तो हाँ जी 87% लोगों ने कहा हाँ. 34% respondents were worried about the side effects and 16% were concerned about fast moving trials. भाई इतनी जल्दी कैसे काम हो रहा है. तो कुछ लोग डरे हुए थे, कुछ लोग बिल्कुल भी सहमत नहीं थे. while the Indian government is aware of vaccine hesitancy. Hesitancy is noun. In Hindi we say hichkichahat. Okay. So there's kind of hesitancy. People are hesitating. So the state of being hesitant, that is hesitancy, among a certain section of people. The concerns are best addressed when all stakeholders are transparent at every stage and not by merely sharing. Merely is an adverb, learners. It's an adverb which means just, sirf. Okay. Guidelines regarding vaccine safety with the states. It is important that those seeking emergency use authorization share the safety and efficacy data immediately. So the vaccine, I would say regulatory bodies and vaccine centers that are coming up to release or to come up with their own vaccines, then they should come up with a transparency mode. They should share every particular data it's related to its safety and effectiveness instantly. Okay, so this is the first call that they should be doing. This is the thing that we're talking about, COVID and vaccination. Now the article ends right here. The words that we have done, the list is right there on our site. You guys can go to the link given in the description and can revise the words that we've discussed today. I shall see you soon in the next session. If you haven't subscribed the channel for regular sessions with that, do subscribe it right away, and not to forget to like and share the video. Thank you so much.